Happy Friday. So I've made a bunch of videos from a set of books that I have chosen in the beginning. However, for some reason, some of the videos just got ruined. I don't know if it's the SD card or what it was. Anyway, I have chosen a new selection of books to continue this journey with you into recommendation, not only recommendation, but to encourage you and myself to read more physical books more often. That was one of my big I would say hobby to go to like thrift stores and find old books that people, discard and said, oh, I've already read it. I don't need it anymore. So I used to go and find those books. So, and then I'd end up finding other books, new books. Sometimes people just don't want to read. So they just donate it. They, like churches like to give each other books as a gift some other times. And when they do, those books do end up in thrift stores. So this one, however, I will go into again. Because I think it's a very, very in-depth book. And the more I go into it, is the more I want to read it. So even if I don't read anything else out of the others for a while, I'll definitely try and read this one. You see, we live such a busy lifestyle. It just seems easier to put on an audio and then listen while we're doing whatever we're doing. So if it's even that, do it. But the best way to read is to pick up a book and turn page by page. It does something to us mentally. When you finish that book, it helps to close chapters in your life. You might think you're just finishing and closing a book, but in your mind, it reads it differently. And I've been a teacher for over 20 years, so I can tell you this a fact, that reading, turning pages to the very end is something that cannot be replaced and should not be replaced. Okay? Heaven is for real. And I think I did tell you what the book is about. So I'm gonna just go over it real quick. It's a #1 bestseller, New York bestseller. And it sold over 2 million copies in print, meaning that physical book. And it's written by Todd Burpo with Lynn Vincent. A little boy, astounding story of his trip to heaven and back. A beautifully written glimpse into heaven that will encourage those who doubt and thrill those who believe. Do you remember the hospital, Colton? Sandra said. Yes, Mommy, I remember, he said. That's where the angels sang to me. When Colton Burpo, or Birpo, I do not know how you pronounce that, but I'm just going English way. Burpo. Made it through an emergency appendectomy. His family was overjoyed at his miraculous survival. What they were expecting, though, was the story that emerged in the month that followed. A story as beautiful as it was extraordinary. detailing their little boy trip to heaven and back. Colton, not yet 4 years old, told his parents he left his body during the surgery and authenticated that claim by describing exactly what his parents were doing in another part of the hospital while he was being operated on. He talked of visiting heaven and relayed stories told to him by people he met there whom he had never met in life, sharing events that happened even before he was born. He also astonished his parents with description and obscure details about heaven that matched the Bible exactly, though he had not yet learned to read. With disarming innocence and the plain-spoken boldness of the child, Colton tells of meeting long-departed family members. He described Jesus, the angels, and really, really big God is, and how really, really big God is, and how much God loves us. He retold by his father, but using Colton's uniquely simple word, heaven is for real, offers a glimpse of the world that awaits us, where, as Colton says, nobody is old and nobody wear glasses. Heaven is for real, will forever change the way you think of eternity, offering the chance to see and believe like a child. And I'm just going to see if there's a table of content to finish off my introduction to the book. See, now that you know, you can make that positive choice and look it up. I am almost sure it's still in print, and you can find it in wherever books are sold. And you can even get it on audio. I tell you the truth, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Jesus of Nazareth. Oh yes, there's a content. Let me try and go through this real quick. So the content states, the Crawlaceum, Pastor Job Colton tough it out. Smoke signals. Shadow of death. North Platte. I think this is it. Raging at God. Minutes like glaciers. Prayers of a most unusual kind. Colton Burpo, collection agent. Eyewitness to heaven. Lights and windows. On heaven time. Confession. Pop. Two sisters. The throne room of God. Jesus really loves the children. Dying and living. The first person you'll see. No one is old in heaven. Power from above. Allies moment. Swords of the angels. The coming war. Someday we'll see. Epilogue, and then a few other stuff. So this is the book, Heaven is for Real. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to get it into it.